In the next couple slides, we're going to talk about how to write electron configurations. And so we're going to go over using the energy level as well as the blocks to show where all the electrons are situated for a particular atom. All right, as we go through this, I am going to continue to reference this diagram which comes out of your book. And we are going to use that to figure out what the electron configuration is. So nitrogen is located right here. So this is what we're going to be aiming for as we count. When you write electron configurations, you always want to start in the first period, the first energy level. And you're going to work left to right. When you get to the end, you come down to the second period, so on and so forth. Each time you get to a new period, you have to state what period you're in. Each time you get to a new block, you have to state what block you're in and account for all the electrons. Okay, so we're going to start at the beginning, nitrogen. Starting at the first energy level, you're in the S block, 1, 2. S blocks can only hold 2 electrons. We're at the ends, we're going to drop down. New energy level, which means I state what energy level we're in again. And we are now in the S block again. And we will fill in 1, 2 electrons, but we haven't reached nitrogen yet, so I'm going to continue across. We now have a new block, so I need to again restate what energy level we're in, and I'm going to state what block we're in. We're now in the P block, and I have 1, 2, 3 boxes until I get to nitrogen. So I put 2p3. So my electron configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. If I want to go back and double check, did I account for all my electrons? I can do that by looking at the atomic number of nitrogen. And the atomic number is 7, which means it has 7 protons. And because I don't see a charge on there, that also means it has 7 electrons. Well, the small superscript at the top is what tells us how many electrons we have. So if I add those numbers together, 2 plus 2 plus 3, that gives me 7. So I've accounted for all my electrons in nitrogen. So this is your electron configuration. We're going to use the same process to write the electron configuration for zinc. And zinc is located right here in the D block. So let's start from the beginning where we always do, in period 1. So moving across, 1s2, I filled both of those. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and write this down here so I have lots of room. So this is 1s2, got to the end. I'm going to come down to the next energy level. 2s2, still haven't reached our zinc. So I'm going to continue on. New block means I write this again, 2p6. I filled in all these blocks, drop to the next energy level. 3s2, still haven't gotten to zinc, moving across. 3p6. Okay, now I'm in the fourth energy level. Still haven't gotten to zinc, so this is 4s2. Now the funny thing about the D block, remember, is that the D block is 1 energy level behind whatever period you're on. So because I'm on period 4, that means that this entire line is 3 for the 3D block. So 3D, and I count the boxes until I get to zinc. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so my final electron configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10. If I want to go back and double check myself, I'm going to look at the atomic number for zinc, which is 30. That means it has 30 protons and 30 electrons. So all I need to do is add up. 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20, plus 10 is 30. So I've accounted for all the electrons in zinc, so I'm pretty confident that this is correct. Osmium is located right here on the periodic table. When you start to get into these elements that have a lot more protons and electrons to deal with, writing the longhand configuration tends to get really tedious and you have lots of room for mistakes. And so we're going to talk about how to write osmium using a shorthand or noble gas configuration. So anytime you use a noble gas configuration, you want to work backwards until you run into the last noble gas. So we haven't run into it yet, so we're going to drop to the previous period, and this one is xenon. Xenon is my last noble gas that came right before osmium. So I'm going to use it as a placeholder, and xenon represents all of the periods and energy levels and electrons that came before. So it's accounting for 54 of our electrons. So we're going to start at xenon. We're going to start right here with period 6. So 6s2, 1, 2. Now the funny thing here is we're going to drop into the F block from here. And the F block runs 2 energy levels behind whatever period you're on. So since I'm on period 6, this is 4F. Okay, I would go all the way through the F block, so there's 14 electrons accounting for there, and then I come back up and I go through the D block. The D block is 1 behind whatever period you're on, so since I'm on period 6, this is 5D, and I'm going to count until I get to osmium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just to double check myself, I'm going to add up my electrons here and make sure osmium has 76 protons, which means it has 76 electrons. I want to make sure that this also comes out to 76, which it does. So I've accounted for all of the electrons, but I didn't have to write every single energy level and every single block to get there using the shorthand or noble gas configuration.